Yes, good day everyone. My name is Abdulkabir Akinlabi. Um, as I said earlier, we'll be moving to something that is more technical and more um, powerful, which is websites itself. We've been doing HTML, we've been doing CSS. Today, by special grace of God, I'm going to send the material. In fact, the way I'm going to send it, I think if the time permits me, I'm going to record the video here also. I'm going to upload it on the server so that the issue we had the last time will not have it. So just go and go through the CSS material. But what I want to do today is the architecture of a typical website. The architecture of a typical website. What I mean by the architecture of a typical website is that whenever you see a website is usually a folder. Let me show you one. The one we've been using. Look at this website that we are going to use as an example. You can see that if I here you see index.html, which is the home page. Please, I want you to follow me. Index.html. If I click on this, you can see about.html. That's the name given to it. If I click on this, you see portfolio.html. So all these names are the names that has been given to each page. The one you do, all those pages you have been doing. Take for instance this first training.html. So those are the naming convention. That's how they name them. Now a website is always a folder. Look at that Kennedy, that website Kennedy. This is a typical website. So that means that all these are the pages: about, blog home, blog single, contact, element, index. So a typical website will have the index as the home page, because now I'm going to be giving you templates to work on. As you are reading your CSS, I don't want to waste time. I'm not the kind of person that would waste your time. I want you to get the something so that you can move on to the next level. At this level, after a week, you should be able to collect a web project so that you can get something out of it. Because as you are getting, I'm also getting. So because at the end of the day, we are going to benefit ourselves. So now I don't want to use your ability or your busy schedule to be reading CSS. So I'm going to give you the architecture of a typical website. When you open a folder of a website, what you'll be seeing now inside this place, you can see all these web pages: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is just a PHP this thing I wrote. 8, 9, 10. So these are pages. But what you need to know, what I'm going to show you today, is is something very very important. You need to understand it. Do you know that every website, when you click on this page, they're supposed to have the same menu? The same menu. Take for instance, let me open this let me first of all explain this architecture. Sometimes you see the image, the folder where all the images are. You can have it inside subfolders, different folders. So those are in case if I ask you to go and download any template, you now want to change the template to your own. You see, this template now, because of your knowledge of HTML and CSS, you can change the whole of this template. The owner of the template, the person who did the template, will not even know that you are using the template. That's the power of knowing HTML and CSS. Are you getting it? Now, if you notice that these these are the images, they are still under different browsers. Look at this image. Let me check. Home. Let me take for instance, look at this. He's wearing a gray clothes. So when you check the image, I think this is the image, banner-img. Banner-img. So now if you now go to the this thing itself, this is the home page. I told you, I said index.html is the home page. So when you open it with any browser, any text editor you are using, you will see that all what we've learned are here. All these ones, they are not that very important. This doc.html, this one, even if you don't put it, they won't, this is what you know. But if you leave it, there's nothing will harm the website. If I refresh it, nothing changes. So look at it now. Meta, all those ones, they are not that very necessary, but the template they used to put it there, so they are just specifications. But you can leave it. Let us leave it as a matter of studying. Then Let me go. This is the title, Kennedy, that we've discussed. So that's the essence of knowing HTML. Now what we are doing now is that we are trying to implement our knowledge of HTML. Kennedy, I can decide to change this Kennedy, because of the fact that we've already know title. If I remove all these things, they are not something that will affect, you can see. So it's just that the person who designed the template just leave it there. I'm working on a template. So if I put it HTML training and save it, it's going to be saved. You can see, look at HTML training. So that's the essence of your learning this HTML. So you know how to manipulate certain things. You can see all this link, they are linking to different style sheets that we have. Let me show you the style sheets in the folders. We have different style sheets, but the most important one is this main.css. We have different style sheets which we are going to be discussing when we move on in our training, because we are still going to Bootstrap, we are going to JavaScript. So we are going to discuss that. But for now, I want to implement a project. I told you that I promised you that we are going to do a project whereby you are going to learn all what you are going to practicalize all what you have learned. So here we are now. Don't forget, we have two tasks. I'm going to send you the CSS material. You have to go and read it. Then also this. Now, if you notice a website, this about us, we have this is the index.html. You can change everything here. You can see on ordered list. If you want to know where your ordered list ends, this is the whole of the navigation. This is it. The whole of the navigation, I mean the menu. This is it. Then where we have the home page, you know that this one, I don't need to explain this to you. This is a list. Then inside the list, we now have an anchor tag with href linking to, if I change this into any other thing, maybe index, if I should add x to it, s to it, and save it. If you should refresh this page and click on this page, you see that page cannot be found because I've added s to it. So now your knowledge of HTML will let you know that this thing is a link. You can see the same thing with about, which is linking to about.html, which is this. About.html, which is this. See, at this level, I want you to play this video like 2 times, so that you understand. Look at the one that is a drop down menu. What is making it a drop down is this CSS. Menu as children is going to be under that CSS. But let's assume that I don't need this drop down. Where will I remove it? From where to where? Your knowledge of HTML will let you know that this list starts here and it ends here. So if I want to remove it, I remove it like this. That means that I'm removing those pages. I'm very sure you are following. So I'm removing those pages. So now I have blog also is having a child, the one that has a sub menu. So let's assume that I still need that sub menu. I just want to remove this. I'm going to remove this. So now let me now come. You can change everything inside this thing. For now, what I'm going to give you, the assignment I'm going to give you after reading your CSS, is how to customize a template to suit your own website. I'm going to give you a template where you are going to be changing all these things, the one you understand there. So with working with different codes, I know you are going to find it somehow this thing, working with different codes. First of all, when you are working with codes that are plenty, know where this thing is starting and where it is ending. Your text editor will let you know that this is where this div is starting, this is where it is ending. Look at this div, this is where it's, because you should not make mistake in this in the div divisions. You can see that this is a div. The name of the CSS is brand wrap. If you check your CSS, you are going to see it there. So I want you to read that CSS. So now this is not where I'm going. Now if you check my home page, if I should refresh, I'm at the wrong place. I put s here. If you check this thing, I've removed menu. But if I should click on about, the menu are still there. That means that this about, if you go and check the about.html, let me go there and check it. About.html, open with brackets. If you are using, you see that it has its own menu. But on a typical website, menu suppose to be the same thing. Are we getting it? Footer suppose to be the same thing. Footer suppose to be the same thing. One of my students who I was taking some, he's a very good blogger. He's earning a very good this thing in his blogging career. I think this is what he was asking me. This is where his own training is going to begin, because he knows all those things that I've been training you with. So now what I'm trying to say is that a website is supposed to have the same footer, the same menu. So that is where our PHP will come to play. But for now, don't let me overload your brain. Don't forget your CSS, where you are going to read the materials on different CSS. But this also is very, very important. You see that the menu for home page is different from the menu for about us, and normally they're supposed to be having the same menu. That is where PHP comes to play. Now let me show you one of my projects. Later you are going to install this XAMPP server, which is going to be a local server instead of you using the internet. The project I'm working on, I'm going to use it as an example. Now let me show you the folder of the project. I think it's under localhost XAMPP, htdoc, then Soul Connect. Soul Connect, I have several projects here. Soul Connect is a project by some group of Muslims who want to connect matchmaking. Is a matchmaking software. So look at this Soul Connect. Now let me launch it. If I want to launch it, the reason why I'm teaching you this is for you to get while menu where PHP is going to come to play. Soul Connect. Now what will happen? It's going to load the index page. It's going to load the index page. This is Soul Connect this thing I'm working on. This is just the website. If now let me go and show you the code. You see that the code has been divided into different segments in such a way that if I click on about us, this one I've not done anything here, but what we do, I think, yes, I've done something. What we do, how we do it, I've done something like that. How we do it .php. Now let me show you the architecture. Now this is Soul Connect. If I open it, we have different HTML web page. But what is the most important thing is, if you open the index is already in PHP. Now if you notice here, the head, this file, head.php, I've separated this somewhere inside the folder known as includes. Let me show you the folder. Includes. This is the head. Everything that I know that they are going to be uniform across the pages, I put it inside a particular folder. I call it includes. So now if you look at this head, what is inside this head? It's just the connection to the CSS and all those things. You can see. So I want to use one file to reference all the pages. Now what will I now do? What will I do? Again, look at it. All this thing I'm doing, I'm just introducing you to it. We are still coming back to it. I just want you to get the architecture of a typical website. So don't get confused. Head, footer, they are separate file. I removed from the template. You can look, this footer. Now how will I now integrate it into this place? So in the position of that head, I just put a PHP function. PHP include the file. So it's going to include this there. Now let me show you again. This header, PHP include the header. So if I just change anything inside this header .php, if I change anything inside this header .php, it's going to change across every places I use that header.php. Let me come back. I think at this juncture there is need for me to relax. I know that you also you are looking at it as a magic. What I'm saying is this. Look at this clothes I'm wearing. I have it belongs to my group, to my office. Is an office shirt. I have several people that are using it. Look at this thing. I'm a programmer. It's written here, I'm a programmer. Now imagine if this where this I'm a programmer, if I want to change I'm a programmer, I want to add s, I'm programmers. If I add s here, I'm going to add s in all places that this shirt is all the people that are wearing this shirt, I'm going to add s to their own. But let's assume that this I'm a programmer is somewhere, and I'm calling that file I'm a programmer inside the shirt of each and every one of us. So I will just go to that particular file and change I am a programmer to I am programmers. So automatically it will change across all the pages. So get that, because I'm going to be using that. This I'm not in the next month package. That's where I target to go. So now I want you to get it. Now see, look at it, because I have already said it from the beginning that the way I teach someone in such a way that the crook, or how will I call it, the lowest person when it comes to the intelligence is going to get it. So that's why I'm repeating myself. I'm wasting a lot of data to do this, and I know the reason why I'm doing that. So look at this includes. It's just a folder. Footer is there, found love is there, head is there, header is there, page head, sponsored, testimonials. Because I believe that all those things are going to be something across all pages. Look at this sponsored profile. Where I want to put here, what I want to put here is the people who want to sponsor their profile. You know, someone who wants to get married and he or she wants his profile to be at the home page. Just like, I don't know if you have been using Ireland, just like all this front page or front what do you call it, front page. Yes. So now this one also, I want this one to be across all the pages. Then this testimonial also, I want it to be across all the pages. Then the footer. So that's why I added them in a separate file. Then I will now be including them using a PHP function known as include. Look at let me go to that so connect again. Where is my so connect? This is it. If you check the index, let me show the index.php. We are going to do everything. You can see I included the header, which is the menu. I included the header. If I want to change this header now, where is the header? If I should change anything inside the header, let me go and change something inside the header. This is the header. Now if I should change, the header consists of the menu. Let's assume that this supports at so connect. I want to put support. I added s. Now if you check it, if I refresh it, the s is going to reflect support on this home page. If I should go to what we do, it's still going to remain support, because all the header are single file included in a particular file. So it is just like having a single file being useful in various places. In computer science, we call something object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is for you to divide tasks according to objects. So what I'm going to do is that the next should it be the next video, I'm going to upload the CSS material. Please go and read the CSS material. This thing, the second video, which this video I'm making, is for you to get a glimpse of what we will be doing, what we are going to be doing. You are going to get certain softwares which I'm going to give you, or you can download them. One of them is this XAMPP. Don't get confused. It's not what we are doing now. I'm just introducing it the same way I introduced you to certain things when we started this work. I introduced you to some websites. So I don't want you to feel relaxed. I don't want you to feel that okay, this thing is becoming more difficult. No, it's not difficult. It's something we are going to redo. We are going to do and redo. Imagine you are spending 3 months on this project and we are already on the website. So that means that we are still going to do some certain repetitions. But it's just very unfortunate that the number of people I'm seeing that are returning their assignments are very, very few. So because of this, I'm very sorry to note this. I'm going to remove some people. Even though the money, the 1,000 naira you are paying, I notice that it's not even enough for the task I'm doing, the number of data I'm consuming. But that's not the issue. We are talking of humanities here. So that means that it doesn't mean that we cannot remove people if they are not turning in their assignments. In fact, there are some people they've not even turned the second assignment I gave. So it's very, very unfortunate. And this programming is something that if you don't practice, you are going to be left behind. And as such, you are going to lose hope. So which I don't want you to do. Don't lose hope. So this thing I just gave you, go and watch it. What I'm trying to say is the architecture. Today's topic is just the architecture of a typical website. So all these HTML we are using, we are going to be using .php later on. Look at what we do .php is the name of a page. So I am just including these several things. If I change anything inside the footer, why is it that if I change anything inside the footer, everything is going to change? Contact us. If I change it to contact me, it's going to change. Let me go to that folder where I include footer, contact us. If I do contact me, it's going to change. So let me refresh. Hello sir. Walaikum salam sir. Era sir.